Hi guys, my name's Marty from letsbuildwp.com and I've been using WordPress for over 6 years and teaching it successfully for over 4. Today I'm going to show you how to create a $1,000 website step by step using WordPress. WordPress is the same platform used by the New York Times, CNN, Forbes. We also have eBay and Sony, Jay-Z and Katy Perry, just to name a few. WordPress is also responsible for 18% of all websites and blogs online today, so you know the website we're going to build together will be professional. This website's also going to be 100% mobile friendly, so it won't matter what device it's being viewed on, your website will always look amazing. Rather than just talking about it, I'm going to show you. So this is the exact website we're going to be building today, step by step. And if we just scroll down, we'll see that this is an amazing website, and we have these beautiful animations. I'm going to show you how to change all of the text and images you see here. I'm also going to show you how to add a blog as well. Then this contact form, so your visitors can get in contact. And then underneath in the footer, we can have our address, our email address, our phone number, and links to our various social channels. Our email address and phone number will be clickable links, so people on mobile phones and tablets can click on our email address or our phone number and get in contact right away. I'm also going to show you how to add your own logo and this menu that remains at the top when people are scrolling through your website. I'm going to show you how to add different pages as well, which are going to have images and text. I'll also show you how to change the sidebar so we can add menus and text. We can also add images as well. Then if we click here where it says our blog, this is our actual blog page with our featured images and a little bit of text about our post. Then when we click into our blog post, I'll show you how to add text and images, different heading sizes, and also a comments box underneath so your visitors can leave a comment. This website is also 100% mobile friendly, so if I just make my screen a little bit smaller, you'll see that the website rearranges in a way that it still looks great. So this is what it would look like to someone on a tablet, and then if we make it a little bit smaller, this is what it would look like to someone on a mobile phone. As you can see, no matter what device this website's being viewed on, it still looks amazing. We're also going to have these clickable buttons on our home page that link to our different pages. And I'm going to show you how to create this website yourself for under $13, step by step, now. Okay, so I've put together a checklist of things we're going to do today to get your website up and running and looking as good as that website we just saw. I'll also cover the cost of anything that isn't free. So the first thing we're going to do is sign up for web hosting. Web hosting is basically a computer that's left on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with your website loaded onto it. This way people can gain access to your website even when your computer's switched off. Now web hosting's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's probably the easiest and quickest way I can think of to explain it to you. Now web hosting's something you will require if you're going to run a website and will usually cost you around $8 a month. Only I am going to show you a way that will get you your first month hosting for only 1 penny. Then the next thing we're going to do is register a domain name for our new website. A domain name is basically the title of our website with www before it and .com after it. So for example, Google's domain name is www.google.com. Once again, a domain name is something you will require if you're going to run a website and will usually cost you around $12. Only we don't pay for our domain name once a month like our hosting, we pay for our domain name once a year. So you'll pay for your domain name once a year and your hosting once a month. The next thing we're going to do is install WordPress, and lucky for us, WordPress is 100% free to install. WordPress is what we're going to use to actually create our website and add our pages and images and all of our content. Then we're going to change our WordPress theme, and we're going to be using a free theme known as Zerif Lite. Then we're going to add our content to the home page. Then we'll create our blog posts and our different pages. Then we're going to create a custom menu. Then change our sidebar, and we'll be finished. So as you can see, the only two things that are going to cost any money are our web hosting and our domain name. And if you remember that I'm going to show you how to get your first month hosting for only 1 penny, that makes the total cost to get started just over $12. Which I personally think is pretty awesome, especially whenever I asked around and the lowest quote I got for a small WordPress website was $500. So to be able to get this one up and running yourself for just over 12 is pretty amazing. So to get started, the first two things we need to do are sign up for web hosting and register a domain name. Lucky for us, we can do both of these things at the same place, which is a website called HostGator.com. So just go ahead and open up your internet browser and go to www.hostgator.com. Or alternatively, you can just click the link below this video. Either way, once you get here, you just want to click where it says web hosting in the top left. And then under that, click choose a plan. That's going to show us the 3 different hosting plans that HostGator have to offer. Now, to be totally honest with you, the business plan comes with a whole load of added extras you probably won't require at this time, so that really just leaves it between the hatchling plan and the baby plan. Now, the only real difference between these two plans is that the hatchling plan allows you one single domain, which is one website, and the baby plan allows you unlimited domains, which is literally as many websites as you'd like. So if you're only going to have one website, I'd recommend you go for the hatchling plan, and if you're going to have more than one website, go for the baby plan. Then underneath, using this drop down, we can choose how often we'd like to pay for our hosting. We can pay for it once every month, once every 6 months, or we can even pay for it once every 3 years. Now, it is a little cheaper the longer you buy at one time, so that may be something to think about. Because I'm only ordering this for the tutorial video, I'm going to set mine to monthly. Once you've chosen how often you're going to pay for yours, just click underneath where it says sign up now. This is where we're going to register our domain name for our new website. So you literally just want to type whatever you want as your domain name into this box. So for me, it's going to be Zerif Lite WP Theme Tutorial. Then you can choose which extension you'd like using this drop down on the right hand side, and by extension I mean whether you want .com or .org or .net or something like that. I'm happy with the .com, so I'm going to leave it set as .com. If it comes up and says added primary, this means that the domain is available to purchase and you can carry on. If it comes up and says that it's not available, that means someone else has purchased this domain already and you're going to need to choose something else. Once you've got your domain added, underneath it gives you the option to purchase other domain extensions as well, so you can purchase .com as well as .org or .net. If you do want any of the other domain extensions as well, just check the box beside which ones you want. Then underneath, under Domain Privacy Protection, this is really a personal preference. I just normally uncheck this box, but if you're willing to pay $9.95 a year for it, just check the box. Then underneath that it says choose a hosting plan, and here you just want to double check that your package type and billing cycle are correct. So I choose the hatchling plan and monthly billing cycles, so these are both correct. Under that it asks you to create a username and security pin for use with the site. And then under that, just enter your general billing information, such as your email, your name and address. Then on the right hand side you can choose if you'd like to pay for it using a credit card or PayPal. Then underneath there are a bunch of different additional services you can purchase as well, but I normally just uncheck all of these boxes. Once again, you can just have a read through them, and if you want any of them, just check the box. Then underneath it says enter a coupon code. Now there may already be a coupon code entered in here worth 20 or 25% off, but as I promised you at the start of this video, I'm going to show you how to get your first month hosting for only 1 penny. So you just want to delete the coupon code that's already entered in here, and instead you want to enter WP website 1. That's all one word, WP website and then the number 1. And if we click validate, we'll see here at the bottom we're now getting our first month hosting for only 1 penny. We also get access to HostGator's 24/7 phone live chat and email support for free, and access to their money back guarantee which lasts 45 days. Once you're happy with everything here, we can just scroll down and check the box beside where it says I have read and agreed to the terms of service, and then click Checkout Now. When we click Checkout Now, depending on which payment method we chose, it's either going to bring us to a payment screen saying that our payment's being processed on our credit or debit card, or else it's going to bring us to PayPal and ask us to finish the transaction on PayPal. What I'm going to do is pause this video for a few minutes while I fill out my information above and pay for my order. Then I'll restart the video and we'll continue on together. So if you just want to pause this video now, you can fill out your information above, then restart this video after you click Checkout Now and finish paying for your order. That way we can carry on building our website together. Okay, so that's me now back. I've finished paying for my hosting and my domain name, and I'm now on a page that says thank you for your order. Hopefully you're on the same page too if you're following along at home, and if you are, at this point you just want to open up your email inbox where you should find 2 new emails from HostGator. Now these 2 emails can take a couple of minutes to arrive in your inbox, so don't worry. Also check your spam folders because sometimes they do end up in there. Once you get both the emails, do keep them safe because they're pretty important. The first email, called Billing, this one contains your login information to get into the HostGator billing portal, which is actually open here. Then the second email, which we want now, contains the login information to the HostGator cPanel, and that's where we're going to install WordPress. So just click on this second email that says Your Account Info, and here you'll see we have a link to our control panel, our username and our password. So what we want to do is click this link where it says Your Control Panel, and that's going to open up the cPanel login screen in a new window. Now we're going to copy and paste the username and password from this email into the cPanel login screen. Once we do that, we can just click Login, and this is us going to be logging into the HostGator cPanel for the first time. Once we're logged in, we just need to scroll down until we see the heading Software/Services. Once we find it, just click Quick Install underneath. Now on the left hand side, under where it says Popular Installs, just click where it says WordPress. Then on the right hand side, click Install WordPress. And then in this drop down menu here, we're going to choose the domain name that we just purchased. This box here on the right hand side, you just want to leave this blank, and then under admin email we're going to enter our email address that we want to associate with our WordPress website. Then under where it says blog title, we're just going to type our website name. Don't worry too much about it at the minute because this can be changed later. Then for admin user, you just want to create a username for use with your website. This could be your first name or admin or something like that. This will appear in a few places on your website, so do make sure it's something you don't mind your visitors seeing. Then you just want to enter your first name and your last name, which is pretty self-explanatory, and then click underneath where it says Install WordPress. This is just an advert, so we can close this, and up at the top we'll see there's a progress bar and it says your install is running. As you can see, it didn't take very long, and it says here your install is complete. Click here to view your notifications. Then if we click this down pointing arrow beside where it says view credentials, we'll see here we have a link to our new admin area, our username and our password. Now it does seem to give the impression that your install is going to be ready to log into right away, but this isn't always the case when you purchase a new hosting account. Sometimes it does take a little while to get your domain name and your hosting all set up so you can log in. It normally only takes around 15 or 20 minutes, but it has been known to take anywhere up to 24 hours in the past. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause this video until I can click on this link and it brings me to the WordPress login screen. Then I'm going to restart the video and we can carry on together. So basically you just want to wait until you can click this link and it brings you to the WordPress login screen. Then you want to restart this video and we'll carry on building our website together. So I'm going to pause the video now and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's me now back. I've only left it about 15 minutes, but I've already checked and everything's ready to go. So once you click on the link under where it says admin area, as long as you've left it long enough, it should open up this WordPress login screen. Then we're just going to copy and paste our username and password from this quick install screen into the WordPress login screen. If for whatever reason you've lost access to the quick install page, you will have been sent the same information in an email, which should be sitting in your email inbox. Either way, you just want to click the link, copy and paste your username and password in, and then click login. Once we do that, that's going to be us logged into what's known as the WordPress dashboard for the first time. The WordPress dashboard is where we'll add any content or make any changes to our website. The first thing I like to do after logging into WordPress for the first time is change my password. It's very unlikely that I'm going to remember the random one they've given me. So to change your password, on the left hand side you just want to click where it says users. Then hover your mouse over where it says your username and click edit. Now if we scroll down to the bottom, we can click this generate password button and a new password will be generated for us. We can just delete the text that's in this box and type our new password in here. Once you're happy with everything, we can just click here at the bottom where it says update profile, and that's now going to be our new password we use when logging into our WordPress website. Now that we've updated our password, if we click on our website title in the grey bar along the top, we can see what our website looks like at the minute. So when you first install WordPress, it comes with some demo content, such as a demo post, a demo comment, and a few other bits and pieces as well, such as a few menus and things in the sidebar. This is the default theme that's being used at the minute when installing WordPress. There's a good possibility that whenever you install WordPress and visit your site, it may look a bit different because they do change this theme every so often. This isn't the theme we're going to be using anyway. We're going to be using a theme called Zerif Lite, which looks a whole lot better than this and looks a lot more like the website we saw at the start of this video. So what we need to do is change our theme. But before we do that, I just want to mention, see this grey bar running along the top? This is only visible to you when you're logged in. Your visitors won't see this grey bar along the top. So to change our WordPress theme, we just need to click our website title in the grey bar running along the top. If we click on our website title at the top, it brings us between viewing our website and the WordPress dashboard. So from the dashboard on the left hand side, to change the theme, we just want to click where it says appearance, and here we're going to see the different themes we already have installed. The one we were just looking at there is called 2015, and as we can see, it's active on the site. To add a new theme, we just need to click up at the top where it says add new, And here we can search through the different featured, popular and latest themes for WordPress. Because we already know what theme we're going to install, we just want to click in the search bar in the top right, and here we're going to type the word Zerif, that's Z-E-R-I-F, new word L-I-T-E. Once you do, it should automatically bring up the theme, and this is the one we're going to install. You just want to hover your mouse over the theme and click install. WordPress is going to download and install the theme automatically. All we need to do is click activate. Now when we click our site title at the top and we visit our website, we'll see that already our site's looking a whole lot better and a whole lot closer to the end result that we're going for. This is one of the main reasons I love WordPress so much. Within a couple of minutes you can literally change the look of your entire website by just changing the theme. Now before we start adding our own content to our website, we're going to delete the demo content such as this sample post and this sample page. To delete the sample content, we need to head back over to our dashboard by clicking our site title at the top. Then to delete the post, on the left hand side we just click where it says posts. Then this hello world post is that sample post. We just need to hover our mouse over where it says hello world and then underneath click trash. That's going to delete the post from our website. Then we're going to do the same thing for our sample page. So on the left hand side just click where it says pages, then hover your mouse over where it says sample page and click trash. Now if we click our site title at the top to visit our website, we'll see there's no longer a sample page in the menu, and if we scroll down, we no longer have any blog posts. So now that we've deleted the sample content, I just want to quickly open up our checklist from earlier so we can see what we've done and see what we still need to do. So we've signed up for our web hosting and registered our domain name. We've installed WordPress, and just there now we changed our WordPress theme to the Zerif Lite theme and deleted the sample content. Now we're going to add our content to the home page, which is this page here. We're going to change all the text and images that appear on this page. To do that, in the grey bar running along the top, we just need to click here where it says Customize. That's going to open up the different customization options for our theme, and as you can see there's a preview of our site on the right hand side. You may have noticed that it looks a little bit squashed compared to normal, but that's literally just because this menu's open on the left hand side and it wants to show you the entire site. This is more what it would look like if you were viewing your website on a tablet rather than a desktop or laptop. So the first thing we're going to do is click here on the left where it says Site Identity, and here under where it says Logo, this is where we can change the logo on our website. So as you can see here at the top, this is the sample logo that they give us. But to change it and add our own logo, we just need to click here where it says Select Image. Then click Select Files in the middle. Then we're just going to search for the image on our computer, and once we find it, we just need to click on it and click Open. Then here on the right hand side, you can change the title and alternative text for SEO purposes, and then when you're done, click Choose Image. As you can see, the preview is going to update in real time, and we can see how our logo is going to look right away. If you don't already have your own logo and you don't have the money to get one designed for you, I'm going to link to one of my previous videos below in the description, which is going to show you how to create your own logo like this one for free. Then underneath where it says Site Title, this is literally just where you want to type your website name and then a short description of your website under where it says Tagline. These won't show up anywhere on your website, but when you're not in this preview screen, they will show up on the top in your browser on the little tab here, and they're also going to show up in the search engines as well. So here where it says Site Title, I'm just going to leave it as Zerif Theme Tutorial, and then as my tagline, I'm going to type step-by-step WordPress tutorial. Then once you're happy with your site title and your tagline, underneath it says site icon, and this is also known as your website's favicon. And what this is the little icon that'll appear in the tabs in your website browser. So here up at the top you can see this is HostGator's site icon or favicon. Then here this is the one for Gmail. Then the quick install page. And as you can see, ours is a blank page because we haven't added one yet. So to add our site icon, we just need to click here where it says select file. Then on the top left, click upload files. And then in the middle, select files. Now we're going to search for the image on our computer like last time. Click on it and click open. Now for a site icon or favicon, it does need to be an ICO format image, so you can't just use any image. To create a favicon for free, I'm also going to link to another video of mine which will show you how to do that. Once you've created your icon, you can come to your website, follow the steps I just showed you, click on the favicon file and click open. Then once it's loaded, you'll see a small preview, and on the right hand side you can change the title and alternative text again for SEO. Once you're happy with everything, you can click in the bottom right where it says select, and if you need to, you can crop your image or click skip cropping. As you can see, the preview looks pretty big and blurry down here, but if you look up at the top, you'll see it looks pretty good. Now that we've changed these options, we can just click up at the top where it says save and publish, and our changes will now be live on our website. Then we can just click this back pointing arrow to get back to the screen before. And underneath here where it says sections, order and colors, you'll see that there's a padlock beside it. That's because we're using the free version of this theme. You can upgrade it if you want, but personally I don't think you need to. So we can just skip this section and go right on to the next one, which is general options. So just click general options here, and there will now be 3 tabs: general, socials and footer. So we just want to click at the top where it says general, and here we're going to see there are 3 checkable boxes besides some different options. Personally, I recommend leaving all 3 of these boxes unchecked. And then underneath where it says copyright, if we just scroll down on the right hand side in the preview all the way to the bottom, we'll see here it says Zerif Lite powered by WordPress. Now to get rid of this text, we would need to upgrade the theme to the premium version. Because we're using the free version, it will say Zerif Lite powered by WordPress in the corner, but we can add some text that appears above this, and we do that by typing in here where it says copyright. So I would recommend typing something like copyright and then yourwebsitename.com. And as you can see, that now appears in the bottom right in the preview. Now we can click this back pointing arrow and click here where it says socials. Now here we can see Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Behance and Dribbble. Then in the bottom right corner we can see the icons for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Behance and Dribbble. So what we want to do is basically add the URLs of our different social channels that we have into these boxes. And then any of the ones that we don't have, we can just delete the pound or hash symbol that appears in the box. So I don't have Dribbble or Behance, so I'm going to delete these. And as you can see in the bottom right in the preview, they've now disappeared. Then I would just copy and paste the URL from my Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn profile pages into these boxes. And that's going to turn these into clickable links. So whenever your visitors come along and click on one of these links, it's going to bring them to your various social channels. To save time in the tutorial, I'm just going to leave these as they are. And once you're happy with everything here, we can just click the back pointing arrow, and then we're going to click the last option here that says footer. Now here's where we're going to add our company address, our email address, and our phone number. Now you can change these to be other things if you would like, but I think the best things really to have are your company address, email and phone number. I also love the fact that the email address and phone number are both clickable. This will really help get people getting in contact from their mobile phones. If you do want to change the icons that appear here, all we need to do is click Remove, then click Select Image, Upload Files, Select Files, search for the image on your computer and click Open. It's basically just exactly the same as before, and then your new image will appear. In this example, I'm just going to continue using the default, so I'm going to bring that back. So the first thing we're going to add is our email address, and to make sure it remains clickable, you just want to change the text that contains the email address here. So where it says contact@site.com, you want to change this to be your email address, and then the same here where it says contact@site.com. Only change the email addresses and leave the rest as it is. This will make sure that your email address remains clickable, as this code here is basically the HTML code to turn it into a clickable link. So only change the email address here and here. Then once you've done that, we're basically going to do the exact same thing for our phone number. We're going to leave everything and only change the phone number here and the phone number here. Don't worry about the spaces, you can delete these and it won't make any difference. Then underneath, for company address, as it's not clickable, we just need to type our company address into this box. So for me, as this is just an example, I'm going to type 123 Fake Street, United Kingdom. Once you've added your email address, phone number and physical address, and changed any icons that you're going to change, we can just scroll up to the top, click this back pointing arrow to go back to the screen before. Then we can click Save and Publish up at the top to save our new changes. Then just click the back pointing arrow again to get back to the first screen. And now we're going to click on the big titles section, which is, if we just scroll up to the top in the preview, the big titles section is the very first section that your visitor is going to come to. So if we click here where it says Main Content, the text in this box under where it says Title is the large text that appears in the center of your screen. So as I'm teaching people how to build a website using WordPress, I would change this to say something like, let's start building a WordPress website together. As you can see, it shows up here in the live preview on the right hand side, and then underneath it says red button label and red button link, and then there's green button label and green button link. These options are referring to the red and green buttons that appear underneath the title text. As we haven't added any pages to our site yet, I'm just going to change red button label to say button 1, and then I'm going to change green button label to say button 2. As you can see, it shows up in the live preview on the right hand side, and we're going to come back to these soon once we've added some pages that we can link to them. So for now, we can just click the back pointing arrow at the top to go back, and if we click here where it says parallax effect, I can show you what this is. So if we check the box beside where it says use parallax effect, we'll see that the images behind our text have now changed to these two example pictures. Now what it means by parallax effect is, when I run my mouse over the top of this image, it actually affects the image itself. Now you would change these both separately, so there's a background image which is the clouds, and then the second image is the Statue of Liberty. So you would change both of these separately using the same steps we've used to change images in the previous sections. In this example, I'm just going to go back to the original background image, but I just wanted to cover what that was and how to change it. We are going to change the actual background image soon, but that's in one of the next sections. So if you are going to use the parallax effect, just remember to check this box, change these two images, and then save and publish your changes. But as I'm not going to be using the parallax effect, I'm just going to uncheck the box and then hit the back pointing arrow to go back to the previous screen. If we had upgraded to the premium version of this theme, we could use a video background, but as we haven't, we have this padlock icon and this section's blocked off. So just hit the back pointing arrow to go back to the previous section, and then we're going to click on the next section, which is our focus section, and that is referring to this, where it says features with these 4 images and the descriptions below. Now these 4 images are actually clickable links that will link to 4 pages that we're going to be adding soon. For now, we can just click where it says content in the top left, and here we can change our title and subtitle, which are here and here. So for my title, I'm going to type building a website. And then for my subtitle, I'm going to type a step-by-step tutorial using WordPress. As you can see, it updates in the live preview on the right hand side, and now up at the top we can just click save and publish, then just click the back pointing arrow to go back to the previous section. Now if we click underneath where it says our focus section widgets, we'll see these 4 boxes here. Each one of these boxes or widgets represent each of these. So if we click on the first one here to expand the box, we'll see here it says parallax effect as the title, and that's the title here. Then there's some text that appears, which is here. Then underneath there's a box to insert a link, which is whenever someone comes along and clicks here, this will bring them to a different page. Then underneath there's the icon, which is here. So all we need to do is change the title, the text, and the image, and then later on we're going to come back and we're going to add our links. So for my first title, I'm going to type web hosting, and then as the text underneath, I would just type something like, one of the first things we need to do in order to create a website is sign up for web hosting. In this tutorial, we will be using HostGator. And as you can see, that's appeared here in the preview on the right hand side. Then underneath for image, we can just click here where it says upload image. Make sure you don't click here where it says remove, or you'll remove the entire widget. So here just click upload image, then make sure it's on upload files in the top left, and then in the middle we can click select files and search for the image on our computer. I'm going to be using this one. Once you find the one you're going to use, just click on it and click open. Then on the right hand side you can change your title and alternative text for SEO. Then on the bottom right you can change alignment, link to, and size. We don't need to change any of these. We can just click here where it says insert into post. Then we just need to scroll down on the left hand side and click here where it says apply. And then we'll see our icon shows up in the preview on the right hand side. Now we just need to repeat the same process for the other 3 widgets to update them. So on the left hand side, if we scroll up to the top, we can just click this little arrow here, and that's going to close that widget box. Now we can click to expand the second one and do the same thing over again. So for this one I'm going to call it web hosting, so I'm just going to type that in here under where it says title. Then to save some time in this tutorial, I'm just going to use the same text as last time for the other 3. So I'm just going to copy and paste that in here. Then underneath, we're going to leave the link for now. And here we can just click upload image, then click upload files and select files. Now we're going to search for the image on our computer, and when we find it, just click on it and click open. Then we can add our title text and alternative text for SEO. We can ignore these options at the bottom and then click Insert into Post. Then we just need to click here where it says Apply, and our image will be updated. Then we can just scroll back up to the top on the left and click this up pointing arrow to close the widget box. Then we can click to expand the third one and do the same thing over again. So I'm going to call this one Install WordPress. Then just paste in the same text, leave the link, and then I'm going to upload my image. Then I would add my title text and alternative text if this wasn't a demo. Then you can just leave the options at the bottom and click Insert into Post. Now I'm going to click Apply and then do the same thing one last time for the fourth widget. This one I'm going to call Add Your Content. Use the same text again. Then change my image. Insert into Post, and Apply. Once we've updated our 4 different widgets, we can just click up at the top where it says Save and Publish to save our changes. If you are wondering where I got my icons from, I got them for free from a website called icons8.com, and I'll put a link to that below in the description. Once we've saved our options, we can just scroll up to the top on the left hand side and click the back pointing arrow. Then we can click it again. Then we can just click into the next section, which is our About Us section. And if we scroll down on the right hand side, we'll see that the About Us section is here. In the example, rather than making this section about me, I'm actually going to make it about WordPress. But this is where you could add some interesting information about yourself, including your different skills. So on the left hand side, if we click here where it says Settings, it literally just shows you this checkbox to hide the section. Now all of the different sections have this option where we can just check a box to hide it if we don't want it. But in this example, I do want the About Us section, so I'm going to leave the box unchecked. Then we can just hit the back pointing arrow at the top and click into the next section which says Main Content. So here under where it says Title, this is the main title at the top. So instead of About, I'm going to type Why Use WordPress. But you could type something like About Me or About Us or something like that. Then in the subtitle, I'm going to type a few different reasons to use WordPress as your CMS, which stands for Content Management System. I think that looks good. Then on the left hand side here, this is our big left side title. So we can just type something in here. I'm just gonna type Learning web design has never been easier. As you can see, it's all updating as normal on the right hand side in the preview. Then here where it says text, I know this is a pretty small text box, but this is actually the text that appears here. I'm just going to leave this text as is to save some time in the tutorial, but you can just type whatever you want to appear here into this box. Then once you're happy with everything here, we can just click the back pointing arrow at the top and click into the next section which says Feature Number 1. Then here under Feature Number 1 title, it says Your Skill 1, and that is here. So for this, because mine's about WordPress rather than about me, I could type something like fully responsive. And then here where it says Feature Number 1 text, that's text that's going to appear under that title we just put in. So here I'm going to type WordPress is 100% mobile friendly. As you can see, that appears here. And then under where it says feature number 1 percentage, that is what this number is going to be and how much of this circle is going to be filled in. So because it's 100% mobile friendly, I could change this to say 100. And we'll see that it now says 100 and the circle is now fully complete. Now we're just going to repeat the same process for the other 3 skills. So we can just hit the back pointing arrow at the top, then click into feature number 2 and repeat the same thing. So for this one, I'm going to type plugins. And then for the text underneath, I'm going to type WordPress has thousands of plugins. Then I'm just going to leave the number as 91, but obviously we could change it and it's going to be the same as before. Then once we're happy with skill number 2, we can just hit the back pointing arrow at the top and go into skill number 3. This one I could call themes and then say something like they are always making new themes. Then once again we can change the number underneath, so change it to 95 and we can see it updates here. Then we can just hit the back pointing arrow up at the top one last time and click into feature number 4 to change the last one. So this one, I'm just going to type open source and then WordPress is always getting better. So I could change this to be 98 because I want them all to be high numbers. I think it makes it look better. Then once we're happy with everything here, we can just click save and publish up at the top to save our changes. Then if we click the back pointing arrow at the top, then underneath where it says About Us section, that's just if you wanted to add any widgets to your About Us section, but I don't think we really need to, as I think it looks good like this. So we can just hit the back pointing arrow again up at the top, and now we can click the next section, which is our team section. If we scroll down on the right hand side, we'll see that that's here. So now we just want to click in the top left where it says content, and here we can change our title and subtitle for the section, or else we can check this box and hide the section. So for my title, I'm going to type our amazing team, and then underneath in the subtitle, I'm going to type here is everyone that works here at my company. Then as always, we can see it's updated on the right hand side in the preview, and once we're happy with our title and subtitle, we can just click the back pointing arrow at the top, and then we can click here where it says our team section widgets. So just like in the previous Our Focus section, these here 4 team members are added using widgets. So if we click in the first box here to expand it, we'll see here it says Ashley Simmons, which it says here. Then it says Project Manager, which it says underneath. Then this description is the text that appears when we hover our mouse over her photo. Then underneath we have our different social links, which appear here underneath. Then there's a checkbox, which I recommend checking, which will open all the social networks in a new window. And then underneath we can change our image. So I'll just change the first one here to show you. So for the name, I'll type Marty Dread. Dread isn't my real surname, but it's just the one I like to use in videos. Then position, I'll type online tutor. Then underneath for description, I'm just going to leave this as it is for the example, but as you can see, this text appears here. Then just like with the social channels before, we can delete everything from the boxes of the ones we don't have. So I don't have Dribble or Behance, so I'll delete the space filler. And as we can see, that's now just leaving Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn. So this is where we would paste in the URLs of our different social channels, and then these are going to become clickable links. As long as you check this box here beside where it says open links in new window, the social channel links will open in a new window, leaving your website open in the background. I definitely recommend doing this to keep people on your site. Then underneath, we can just click here where it says upload image to change the image. Make sure you don't click remove or you will remove the entire widget. So just click upload image, then upload files in the top left, then select files in the middle, and we can search for the image we're going to use on our computer. So I'm going to use this one. Once you find the image you're going to use, just click on it and click open. Once it's loaded, we can change the title and alternative text for SEO purposes. Then underneath, we can leave alignment, link to, and size, and just click insert into post. Then if we click here underneath where it says apply, we'll see that the image is updated, and so has our text and everything else. Then if we scroll up to the top here on the left, we can click this up pointing arrow to close this widget box, and then open the next one to change it. Say for example you only had 3 people in your team. You can just click here at the bottom of one of them, just click remove, and as you'll see, you'll be left with 3. Then if you wanted to add another team member, so say you had 5, you can click underneath here where it says add a widget. Then you just want to click on the widget that says Zerif team member widget. Now if we add a name and a position and a description, we can see that that's appearing over here on the right hand side. If we already had 4 team widgets here on the page, it would appear underneath in the middle. I'm just going to remove this for the example, and we'll just leave the 3 that are here. Once you've updated your 3 team member widgets, just remember to click save and publish up at the top. Then we can click the back pointing arrow, then click it again. And now we're going to go on to the next section, which is our testimonials section. So if you just scroll down on the right hand side here in the preview, this is the testimonials section here. So we can just click in the top left here where it says testimonials section, and here we can change the title and add a subtitle or hide the section. So for my title, I'm just going to change this to say my testimonials instead of testimonials. And then underneath for my subtitle, I'm just going to type, here is a selection of my favorite comments I have received over time. As always, it's updated on the right hand side, and once we're happy with our title and subtitle, we can just hit the back pointing arrow and then click into the next section which says testimonials section widgets. Once again, the testimonials are done using widgets, so we just need to click the top box to expand it. And as we can see, it says Dana Lorem, and that's what it says here. Then we've got our text and our image, which is here and here. We can also add an author link, which will change the name into a clickable link. Then author details is some text that will appear underneath their name. So for this example, I'm just going to act like I'm one of the testimonials. So here for author, I'm going to type Marty Dread. And as you can see, the name's updated here, and it keeps that cool font that looks like someone's signature. Then here for author link, I can just type the link to my website or copy and paste in the URL of my Facebook page or something like that. So now the username is going to be a clickable link that will bring my visitors to letsbuildwp.com. Then here for author details, I can just type online tutor. And as you can see, that appears underneath my name. Then for text, you would just copy and paste or type in your testimonials into this box. To save time, I'm just going to leave it as it is with the demo content. Then underneath, we can just click upload image. Then we can click upload files, select files, and then search for the image on our computer. Once we find it, just click open. Then if this wasn't an example, I would add my title and alternative text. We can leave the options at the bottom and just click insert into post. Then we'll see it appear here, and we just need to click apply underneath. Now you'll see our first testimonial has updated, and we would just need to scroll up to the top on the left hand side and click this up pointing arrow to close this widget box. Then click this down pointing arrow to expand the next one. You would just follow the same process to update the next two. And if you did want to add more, you can just click at the bottom here where it says add a widget. Then we can choose Zerif testimonial widget and create a new one. For now, I'm happy with just having 3 testimonials, and I think you're going to be okay by yourself to change the other 2. Once you've changed your testimonials, as always, we just need to click up at the top where it says save and publish to save our changes. Then we can click this back pointing arrow, then click it again, and now if we scroll down on the left hand side, we can click here in the next section, which is our ribbon sections. So these ribbon sections are basically 2 call to action sections that are going to appear on the home page of our website. Now they don't show up in the preview until we actually add them, so you can choose to not use them or just use one and not the other. But we're going to be linking these to 2 pages on our website which we haven't actually added yet. So for now we're going to leave this section alone, and we'll come back to it a bit later on in the tutorial. So for now you just want to click the back pointing arrow, and we can go on to the next section which says latest news. So click into the latest news section, and that is here. Now it looks blank at the minute, but this is where our blog posts are going to appear once we start adding them. If you're not going to add a blog to your website, or you don't want to have a blog, you can just hide this section by checking the box. You can change the title if you want. You can make this say our blog posts or something like that. But to be totally honest with you, I think latest news is probably most suited. Then underneath in the subtitle we could just type something like, here is a selection of our latest blog posts we think you will enjoy. I do realize that the majority of the stuff that I'm writing isn't that great, like I probably wouldn't put this on a real website, but I am just showing you for the examples so you understand how to do it. Once we've added our title and our subtitle, we can just click the back pointing arrow at the top, and now we're going to go on to our Contact Us section. So just click where it says Contact Us section, and now if we scroll down on the right hand side, we'll see this contact form, and this is our Contact Us section. So here where it says title, we can just change the title here at the top. So instead of get in touch, we could type something like get in contact. Then for our subtitle, we could type something like just fill out the form below and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Then for email address, this is the email address that you want to link with the contact form. So whenever someone fills out their name, email address, subject and message and clicks send, it's going to be sent to you as an email. So here's where you're going to type the email address that you want those emails to be sent to. Then underneath where it says button label, that is just what you want this button to say. So instead of send message, you could just write send or something like that. And as you'll see, the button changes size depending on what you've written in this box. Then underneath, if you have a reCAPTCHA account, you can enter your site key and secret key in here, and then it's going to show up here. I don't have one of those, so I'm just going to leave it alone. And then we can scroll up to the top on the left hand side and click this back pointing arrow. Now up at the top, just click save and publish. And now we can click into the next section which says background image. Now the background image we can actually see appearing behind our contact form, and if we scroll up to the top of our website, we'll also see the same image here. The cool thing I love about the background image is that it stays still and your website scrolls past it. I think that's a really cool looking feature that'll help your website stand out from your competitors. So to change the image, we can just literally click here where it says remove, and that removes the image. Then we can click here where it says select image, then upload files in the top left, select files in the middle, and then we can search for the image on our computer. So I'm going to use this one, and then click open. Then once our image is loaded, we can give it a title and alternative text for SEO, and then just click in the bottom right where it says choose image. The recommended image size for your background image is 1280 by 1920 pixels. So that's 1280 by 1920. Now my image isn't that exact size, so it actually looks a little bit blurry, but as you can see, the image has updated. And if we scroll down to the bottom to where our contact form is, we can see that the image has changed here as well. On the left hand side, there are a few other options as well. So if you don't want that cool feature that I was talking about, where your image stays still, you can click here where it says fixed, and that's going to make it scroll with the website. But I like that feature, so I'm going to leave it on. Then once you're happy with your background image, we can just scroll up to the top and click this back pointing arrow, or click up at the top to save and publish. I'm not going to save mine because I want mine to keep the original image that was there. I think it looks a lot better. My image hasn't been formatted properly or anything. I just wanted to show you the process of how to do it. So once you're done with your background image, just click save and publish up at the top, and then we can click the back pointing arrow. Then underneath we're going to see menus. We can leave this alone for now. We're going to come back to that once we've added a few different pages to our website. And then the next two sections are locked because we're using the free version of the theme. So now just make sure everything's saved and published, and then we can click this X in the top left corner. And that's going to bring us to our website as it looks at the minute. So everything on our website's now live. We can see we've updated our logo and our text here in the middle. It says button 1 and button 2 here for now, but we're going to come back and link these later. We have this section here, which we're going to link to our different pages. We have our About Us section, our Teams section, our Testimonials. This is where our blog posts will go. And we've set up our contact form, and then at the bottom we've also set up our footer. So as you can see, our website's homepage is looking awesome, and the only thing that's really missing from it is our blog posts. So to add blog posts to our website, we just need to head back over to our dashboard by clicking our site title in the grey bar along the top. If for whatever reason you're not wanting to add a blog to your website, you can skip the next few steps and then just join back in when we start adding pages. But to add blog posts, from the dashboard on the left hand side, we just need to click where it says posts, and then up at the top click add new. This is the main post editor of WordPress, and this is where we create our posts. So the first thing we want to do is give our post a title. So I'm just going to type my first blog post for the example. Then underneath, if we click in this bigger box here, this is the main content area, and this is where we can type any text and add any images that we want to appear on our blog post. If we click this icon on the far right, where it says toolbar toggle, if we hover over it, if we click this icon, it gives us a few other options and makes the editor something a little more like Microsoft Word or something like that. We can just type whatever text we want in here, but to save some time in the tutorial, I'm just going to paste some text in that I've already copied. Once we've added any text that we're going to add to our post, we can highlight some of the text and change it to be italics or bold using these options. We can also add headings to our post. So here, if I type, this is a heading, we can highlight this text, and then using this drop down menu here, we can change the heading size. So if we set this to heading 2, we'll see here in the preview that the text is bigger. We can use this to divide up our blog posts and make our content easier to read for our visitors. Then, along with some headings, I would also recommend adding an image. And to add an image to our post, we just need to first decide where we're going to add it. So for me, I'm going to add it between these two paragraphs of text. So what you need to do is click at the end of the text and hit return on your keyboard to take a new line. Then we just need to click up at the top where it says add media, then upload files, select files, and then search for the image on our computer. So I'm going to use this one and then click open. Once it loads, as always, we can add our title and alternative text for SEO, and then in the bottom right we can change these options. So for alignment, I'm going to leave set to none, but I could choose left, center, or right. Then link to, I recommend setting to none, and size, I'm going to set to full size. Once you're happy with all the different options here, we can just click insert into post, and we'll see that the image appears in the preview. Once we've added our image and our text, we can hit preview up in the top right here to preview how our post is going to look. We can ignore the sidebar here on the right hand side for now. We're going to change that in a little bit. But for now we can see our text is here and our image, and this is our heading here. Now to add a comments box to the bottom of our post so our visitors can leave a comment, we just need to close the preview. Then up at the top, click here where it says screen options and check the box beside where it says discussion. Now if we scroll down to below the main content area, we'll see here it now says discussion, and it says allow comments and allow trackbacks and pingbacks. So just check the two boxes here. Then if we scroll back up, we can click preview. And now in the preview, if we scroll down, we'll see here it says leave a reply, and there's now a comments box. So that's how to add comments to our post. Now if we close the preview, once we're happy with everything, we can just click here on the right hand side where it says publish, and our post will now be live on our website. If we click here where it says view post, we can see that this is how the post looks on our website. If we visit our home page by clicking our logo at the top, we can scroll down, and now in the latest news section we can see our blog post. Now there's just a plain grey square here because we haven't added what's known as a featured image. So to add a featured image to our blog post, we just need to go back to the dashboard by clicking our site title at the top. Then on the left hand side, click posts. Now we can hover our mouse over our post title and click edit. Now we're back in the post editor and we can scroll down, and in the bottom right we can click set featured image. Now I recommend just selecting the same image that you added to your post, but that's really a personal preference. You might want to add a different image, and if you do, you can just click upload files and follow the same steps as before. I'm going to use the same image though, so I'm just going to click on it. We can add our title and alternative text and then click set featured image. We'll see the image appear here in the preview, and now we can scroll up and click update. Now when we visit our site by clicking our site title at the top and we scroll down, we'll see here under our latest news section, here's our blog post and this is our featured image. So that's how easy it is to add blog posts to our website. I'm just going to run through the same steps once more, and then we can move on with the rest of this tutorial. So to add blog posts to our website, we just need to click our site title at the top to visit the dashboard. Then on the left hand side, click posts, and up at the top, click add new. Then we can give our post a title, so I'm going to call this one another amazing blog post for the example. Then underneath in the main content area, we can type any text that we're going to add to our post. Once again, I'm just going to paste in some text to save time in the tutorial. Then we can add any headings that we want to add by highlighting the text and changing the size using this drop down. Then we can add an image to our post by clicking where in the text we want our image to appear and hitting return on our keyboard. Then we can click the Add Media button up at the top, click Upload Files in the top left, select Files in the middle, then just select the image from our computer and click Open. Then we can add our title and alternative text for SEO and change the options in the bottom right. Once again, I'm going to leave alignment set to none, I'm going to set link to none, and set size to full size. Then once we're happy with everything here, just click Insert into Post and we'll see it appear here in the preview. Now in the bottom right corner we can click Set Featured Image and either select the same image again or a new featured image. Then we just set the title and alternative text and click Set Featured Image. Then we can scroll up to the top, and in the top right we can click Preview to preview our new blog post. As you can see, there's no comments box, so to add the comments box we just need to first click Screen Options, double check that the discussion box is checked, then scroll down to below the main content area and just check the box beside where it says Allow Comments. Now if we scroll up to the top again and click Preview, we can just double check that the comments box is there. Then once we're happy we can just close the preview and click Publish. Now we can view the post and see how it'll look live on our site. And if we click our logo up at the top to visit our home page and we scroll down to our latest news section, we'll see that our new blog post appears here. If you want to change how many of your new blog posts appear on your home page, we can do that by visiting the dashboard by clicking our site title at the top. Then on the left hand side we just need to click Settings, and then underneath we just click Reading. Now here under where it says blog pages show at most, we can change this number to set how many blog posts we want to show on the home page. Personally, I would recommend making this a multiple of 4 because it's going to look best on the home page, and I would set it to either 4 or 8. Personally, I'm going to set it to 4. Then we can click Save Changes, and now only 4 blog posts will be appearing on my home page. Now that we've added some blog posts, we're going to add a page where our blog posts show up. So only our newest blog posts will show up on the home page, but then we're also going to want to have a page that has all of our blog posts in a list. To do that, we just need to add a page by clicking Pages on the left hand side. Then up at the top we can click Add New, and it's basically the same as adding a post. We can just give it a title. So we're going to want to call this page something like Our Blog or My Blog or something like that. Then we don't need to add any text to this page. We just need to click here where it says Template and change it from Default Template to Blog. That's all we need to do. Now we can click Publish here on the right hand side, and when we view the page by clicking View Page at the top, we'll see that we now have a blog page where our blog posts show up. Any new blog posts that we add to our site will now show up on the home page and on this page. And as you can see, it also says Our Blog in the menu in the top right. Now that we've added our blog page, we're going to add a few other pages to our site. So we're going to head back over to our dashboard by clicking our site title at the top. Then we're going to click Pages on the left hand side, and then Add New up at the top. Now we're going to add 4 different pages here, and these are going to be the 4 different pages that we link to our home page. So if I just open up the site in a new window to show you, in the Our Focus section here, we're going to link these 4 icons to 4 different pages. And now we're going to add the 4 pages. So for me, my first page is going to be about web hosting. So here up at the top in the editor, I'm just going to give the title Web Hosting. Then underneath in the main content area, I would just add any text that I was going to add to the page. Once again, I'll just paste some text in to save time in the tutorial. Then the same as a post, we can add an image. And say for example I wanted to add this image right at the top before any of the text. I just need to click my mouse at the start of the text and hit return on my keyboard. Now if I click on the first line here and click add media up at the top, we can click upload files, select files, and then search for the image on our computer. So for me, I'm going to use this image and then click open. Once it loads in the top right, we can give it a title and alternative text for SEO, and then underneath we can choose alignment, link to, and size. Alignment I'm going to set to none, link to I'm going to set to none, and size full size. Then once you're happy, just click insert into page and it's going to show up in the preview. Once again, we can add any headings that we're going to add to our page. We just need to highlight the text and then change this drop down to be one of the different heading sizes. We don't need to set a featured image for our pages. We can just scroll up to the top and click preview in the top right. And once we're happy with how our page looks, we can just close the preview and then click publish. If you want to add a comment section to the bottom of your page, once again just click screen options at the top, check the box beside where it says discussion, then scroll down to below the main content area, check the box beside where it says allow comments, then publish your page. Now when we view the page by clicking view page at the top, we'll see how our page is going to look live on our site. So this is the page now live on our website, and as we can see, the comments box is at the bottom. If you also look in the menu in the top left, we'll see that it's now in the menu as well. So we can click here where it says our blog, and it's going to show us our different blog posts. Then we can click here where it says web hosting, and that's going to show us our new page. Now we're going to add a few more pages, so we just need to head back over to the dashboard by clicking our site title at the top. Then on the left hand side, just click where it says pages, and up at the top click add new. Now the second page I'm going to be adding is going to be about domain names, so I'm going to call it domain name. Once again, we would just add our text into the main content area, and then we can add any images. Once we find the image, just click open. Then add our title and alternative text for SEO. Then in the bottom right, we can choose our alignment, link to, and size. Then we just need to click insert into page, and we'll see it appear in the preview. Then if we want to add the comments section to the bottom, we can just scroll down to below the main content area and check the box beside where it says allow comments. Then we can scroll up to the top, click preview in the top right to make sure everything looks how we want it. We can also add headings using the same steps as before. And once we're happy with everything, we can just click publish in the top right. Then we can view the page, and we'll see that the page is now live on our site along with our comments box, and it's also up in the menu in the top right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video for a couple of minutes and just follow the same steps I just showed you to add 2 more pages to my website, one called Install WordPress and one called Add Your Content. They're just going to have text, an image, a header, and a comments box, same as the ones we just made. So I'm just going to pause the video for a minute or two and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's me now back, and I've just added 2 new pages, one called Install WordPress and one called Add Your Content, both using the same steps that I just showed you, and they each have an image, some text, a heading, and a comments box underneath. So hopefully you've added your 4 pages as well. And before we link them to our home page, we just need to quickly update what are known as our website's permalinks. And permalinks are basically referring to how your pages and posts show up in your website's URL. So if you look here after my website name.com, it says / and then there's this random coding that says page ID 36. To change this, so instead of page ID 36, it says add your content, we need to update the permalinks. To do that, we just need to click on our website title at the top. Then from the dashboard on the left hand side, we just click where it says settings. Then underneath click permalinks. Now here you'll find it's probably set up to default or day and name, but instead we just want to check here beside where it says post name. Then we can scroll down and click save changes. Now when we visit our site by clicking our site title at the top and we visit one of our new pages, we'll see that instead of the random coding, it now shows the page name. Now that we've updated our site's permalinks, we're going to link our 4 new pages to our home page. So we're going to link these 4 icons on our home page to our 4 new pages. To do that, we just need to head back over to our dashboard by clicking our site title at the top, then click Appearance on the left hand side and Customize underneath. Now we just need to click here where it says Our Focus section and then click on Our Focus section widgets. Now if we scroll down in the preview on the right hand side, we can see these are the 4 widgets. So we just need to click to expand the first widget box, which I'm going to link to my web hosting page. So what I recommend you do for now is right click on your website title at the top in your internet browser, just right click on it and then click on duplicate. This is going to open your website up in a new window, and in this new window we can just hit the X in the top left corner to go back to the dashboard. Then we can click our site title at the top to visit our website, and then we can visit the first page that we're going to link. So for me, I'm going to be linking the web hosting page. So in my website, in the new window, I'm just going to visit my web hosting page. Now I can click on the URL in the top, right click with my mouse and copy. Now we're going to head back over to the other screen and paste the URL into this box under where it says link. So just delete the pound or hash symbol and paste in your link. Now when one of your visitors come along and they click on this first icon, it's going to bring them to this page. Now we're just going to follow the same steps to link up the other 3 icons with our other 3 pages. So we can just click this up pointing arrow at the top to close the first widget box, then click on the second box to open it. Then we can just go to our website in the other window, click on the next page we're going to link, and copy the URL. Then we're going to go back to this screen, delete the space filler and paste in our URL. Now I'm just going to do the same thing to link up the other 2. So now I'm going to go to the Install WordPress page, copy the URL, and then paste it into this box. Now just the last one, click to expand the box. This one's going to be add your content, so I'm going to visit that page in the new window, copy the URL, and paste it into this box. Once we've linked up our 4 icons, we can just click Save and Publish up at the top to save our changes. Then if we scroll up to the top on the left hand side, we can click this X in the top left to go back to the dashboard. Now if we click on our site title at the top to visit our home page, and we scroll down to our focus section, we can now click on any of these icons and they will link to our different pages. So if we click on the Install WordPress one, for example, it now brings us to the Install WordPress page. Then if we click our logo in the top left to go back to the home page, we can just double check that the other ones are working by clicking on them as well. Once we know they're all working, the next thing we're going to do is create a custom menu, which is going to appear in the top right. We're going to add a home button to our menu, so people can just click the home button to get back to our home page. because not everyone knows that if they click on your logo it's going to do that. So we're going to add a home page, and we're also going to change the order that our pages appear in the menu. So to create a custom menu, we just head back over to our dashboard by clicking our site title at the top. Then on the left hand side, click Appearance, and under that click Menus. Now up at the top we just want to click here where it says Create a New Menu. Then we're going to give our menu a name. So I'm just going to call this Main Menu. And once you give it a name, just click Create Menu on the right hand side. Now on the left hand side, we just want to check the box beside each of the pages that we're going to add to our menu. So for me it's going to be all of them. Once you check all of your pages, just click Add to Menu, and you're going to see them appear on the right hand side in a list. We can also add our different posts. We can add custom links and categories to our menus. If for whatever reason you don't see one of these boxes, you can just scroll up to the top and click Screen Options, and then double check that all of these boxes are checked. We can also check the box beside Tags and Format. Then if we scroll down, we'll see here it says Tags and Format. We can just click on each of these boxes to expand them, to add them to our menus. For now, it's most likely that we're just going to be adding pages. So once you've added your different pages, you might notice that there's no home page. To add our home page to the menu, we're just going to click here where it says Custom Links. Then where it says Link Text, we're just going to type the word Home. Then for the URL, we're going to leave the HTTP and the 2 forward slashes. And then after the 2 forward slashes, we're going to type our website name .com or .org or whatever your extension is. So for me, after the 2 forward slashes, I'm going to type Zerif Lite WP Theme Tutorial.com. Once you've typed your domain name into this box and typed home as the link text, we can click here where it says Add to Menu, and we'll see it appear here in the list on the right hand side. Now the order of this list from top to bottom will be left to right in our menu once we create it. To change the order of our menu, all we need to do is click and drag the different boxes into order. So because we want the home page to appear at the start of the menu, I'm going to click and drag this box up to the top. Then I want it to be web hosting, so I'm going to click and drag this up and drop it just below home. Then it's going to be domain name, then install WordPress, add your content, and then our blog. Once you've got everything in order, just make sure everything's level over to the left, because if they're clicked over to the right and it says sub item, this is if you're wanting to create a drop down menu, which we're not. So just make sure they're all pulled over to the left and level. And once you've done that, we can scroll down underneath and check the box beside where it says primary menu. This is going to assign it as our main menu. And then we can click in the bottom right or the top right where it says Save Menu. Once we've saved our menu, we can visit our site by clicking our site title at the top, and we'll see that our new menu is live. So we've got our home button, then our pages in the order that we want, and then we have our blog. Then just to make sure everything's set up correctly, we can click on our home button and make sure it brings us back to the home page. So now that we've set up our custom menu, the next thing we're going to do is link these 2 different buttons that appear at the start of our home page. We could link these to different websites if we wanted to, but for the example I thought we could link these to 2 of our new pages that we just created. So to link these buttons, we just head back over to our dashboard, so click our site title at the top, then on the left hand side click Appearance, and under that click Customize. Now we're going to click where it says Big Title Section and then click Main Content. At this point you just want to make sure you've got another copy of your website open in a new tab. And then for the first button, I'm going to be linking this one to my domain name page. So I'm going to type in for the button label, I'm going to type Learn about web hosting. Then in my website in the new tab, I'm going to visit my web hosting page. I'm going to click on the domain in the top, right click and copy. Now I'm just going to head back over to the other page and paste it in here where it says red button link. Now if someone clicks here where it says learn about web hosting, it's going to bring them to my web hosting page. Obviously your pages are going to be different, but hopefully you can follow along with the example. Then I'm going to link my second button to my install WordPress page. So for the green button label, I'm going to type in installing WordPress. Then I'm going to visit that page in the other tab. Click on the domain, right click and copy, then head back to this page and paste it in here where it says green button link. Now when someone comes along and clicks where it says installing WordPress, it's going to bring them to the install WordPress page. Now that we've set up our two buttons, we can just click up at the top where it says save and publish, and then we can click this back pointing arrow to go back to the previous section, and then click it again to go back to the start. Now on the left hand side, if you just scroll down and click here where it says ribbon sections, we're going to add these to our site now. So in this example, I'm going to link one of them to one of my blog posts, and then I'm going to link the other one to YouTube. So if we just click here at the top where it says bottom button ribbon, we'll see here it says text, button label, and button link. So for text, I'm going to type in, you can also find me on YouTube, where I release a ton of tutorial videos. Then for button label, I'm going to type visit my YouTube channel. And now if I scroll down on the right hand side in the preview, you'll see here it says you can also find me on YouTube where I release a ton of tutorial videos. And then here, once we enter a button link, it's going to show our button text. So for button link, because I'm going to link to my YouTube channel, this is where I would just copy and paste in the URL to my YouTube channel. But for now, to save time in the tutorial, I'm just going to type in youtube.com. So as you can see here, now the button appears and it says visit my YouTube channel. Now if someone comes along and they click on this link, it's going to open up my YouTube channel in a new window. Well, it's actually just going to open up youtube.com, but if I have my YouTube channel URL in here, it will bring them to my YouTube channel. So once we've set up the first ribbon section, we can click the back pointing arrow here at the top left, and we can click here where it says right button ribbon to set up the second one. Now the second one I'm going to set up to link to one of my blog posts. So I'm going to visit my website in a new tab, and then visit my blog. I'm going to link to this post here, another amazing blog post. So I'm going to click on this blog post and then click in the top, right click and copy the URL. Now I'm going to head back to the other page and paste that URL in here where it says button link. Then for the text, I can type in something like, have you seen this awesome blog post of mine? And then for the button label, I could say, no, show me. Now on the right hand side in the preview, if we just scroll down, we'll see that this is the second ribbon section here, and it now says, have you seen this awesome blog post of mine? And then if they click here where it says no, show me, it's going to bring them to this blog post here. So that's how we set up the ribbon sections on our website. And once we're happy with everything, we can just click here at the top where it says save and publish to save our settings. Then we can just click the X in the top left corner, and that's going to bring us back to the dashboard. At this point, I'd like to just go back to our checklist, and we can see what we've done and see what we still need to do. So now we've added our content to the home page. We've created our blog posts and a few different pages. We've created our custom menu. And now we're going to change the sidebar. So we're going to change the sidebar using widgets, but it's going to look a little bit different than the widgets we've used before. So from the dashboard on the left hand side, we just want to click here where it says Appearance, and then underneath click Widgets. Now here you'll see it says Sidebar, and then underneath it says Search, Recent Posts, Recent Comments, and then a few other ones. So if I just go to my website in the other tab, you can see here, there's the search bar, then Recent Posts, Recent Comments, and then the rest of them. So this is the sidebar, and then these are the widgets that we're going to use to change the sidebar. So just like the menu, we can click and drag these into a different position. So at the minute it's the search bar, then Recent Posts, then Recent Comments. But if I click and drag Recent Comments up to the top, then visit my website in another tab and refresh the page, we'll see here that Recent Comments are now at the top. Now we don't have any recent comments yet because none of our visitors have left any, but once they start leaving comments, they would start appearing here. So in the widget area, under where it says Sidebar, the first thing we're going to do is delete the ones that we don't want, and we do that by clicking each of the boxes to expand them, and then underneath we can click Delete. So the first one we're going to delete is Meta, so I'm just going to click Delete. Then we're going to delete Categories, so just click on the box to expand it and click Delete. Then we're going to delete the Archives, just do the same thing, and we're going to leave Search, Recent Posts, and Recent Comments. So I want the search box to appear at the top, so I'm going to click and drag that up to the top. Then Recent Comments I want at the bottom, so I'm going to click and drag that down to the bottom. And then Recent Posts I want in the middle. So now if I visit my site in the other tab and refresh the page, we'll see that we only have Search, Recent Posts, and Recent Comments. And under Recent Posts, you'll see our 2 blog posts appearing. Now say you wanted to change the title of one of these, so instead of Recent Posts, I wanted this to say Our Newest Posts. We can just literally click on the box that says Recent Posts here to expand it, and then type the title in here. So I'll just type Our Newest Posts, and then click Save here. Now when we visit our site in the other tab and refresh the page, we'll see here it now says Our Newest Posts instead. We can also add other widgets to our sidebar. So say for example you wanted to add some text about your website. On the left hand side we can see different available widgets, and here at the bottom you'll see text. So if we just click and drag this text widget and drop it into the sidebar, if we drop it here between Recent Posts and Recent Comments, it's going to appear in there, and we can literally just type a title and some text and click Save. So I'm just going to type a title like Some Interesting Text About Us, and then in the main content area we could just type in some text. To save some time in the tutorial, I'm just going to paste some text in, but you can literally just type it with your keyboard. Once we've added any text that we're going to add, we can just click Save. Then when we visit our site and refresh the page, we'll see here that the text appears in the sidebar on the right hand side. Now say you wanted to add an image to your sidebar, we can't do that by default, but we can do it by installing what's known as a plugin. Plugins are basically things that we can download internally within WordPress that will add extra functionality to our website. So to add a plugin, from the dashboard on the left hand side, we just want to click where it says Plugins, and then up at the top, click Add New. Now here you can search through the different featured, popular, or recommended plugins, but because we already know the plugin we're going to be searching for, we can type that into the search bar here in the top right. The plugin we're going to be searching for is called Image Widget, so just type those 2 words into the search bar and hit return on your keyboard. Widget is spelled W-I-D-G-E-T. Once you type in Image Widget and hit return, it should be this first one here, and we just want to click Install Now. Once it's installed, we can click here where it says Activate Plugin, And once the plugin's been activated, we can head back over to our widget area by clicking Appearance on the left hand side and then Widgets underneath. Now if you look under where it says Available Widgets, we'll see here it says Image Widget. Now we can just click and drag the image widget into position in our sidebar and then click here where it says Select an Image. Then we would just search for the image on our computer by clicking Upload Files and Select Files, or we can choose one of the images we already have by clicking Media Library and then choosing it. So for this example, I'm going to add this image. Then we would add our title and alternative text and click Insert into Widget. Then here's where you would add your alternative text, your caption. If you wanted to link the image to a different page or a different website, you can add the URL in here. Then underneath it says Stay in Window or Open in New Window. So if you're going to be linking to an external website, I would recommend you choose Open in New Window. And if you're going to be linking to a page on your own website, you would choose Stay in Window. Then you can choose your size and alignment and then click Save. Now when we visit our site in the other window and refresh the page, if we scroll down, we'll see that the image is now in the sidebar. If we don't add a title, the title of that image will show up as the widget title, but we can easily change that by heading back to the widget area, and then here under title we can change it. So I'll just type an example image. Then if I click Save and head back over to our site and refresh the page, we'll see that it now says an example image and our image shows up. Now it's not a very large image and it doesn't look that great, but it is just to cover it in this tutorial. Now the last thing I want to show you is if you ever make any changes to your WordPress website and for whatever reason they don't show up right away, there's a very good possibility that all you need to do is delete your website's cache. That's spelled C-A-C-H-E, and 9 times out of 10 this will fix the problem. So to delete your website's cache, we just need to install another plugin. So we're going to head back over to our dashboard by clicking our site title at the top. Then on the left hand side click Plugins, and then up at the top click Add New. Now in the search bar in the top right, we're just going to type W3, then the word total, then the word cache. Cache spelled C-A-C-H-E. Then just hit return on your keyboard and it should be this first one. Same as last time, just click Install Now, and once it's installed, click Activate Plugin. Now once the plugin's been installed, you'll see here at the top the word Performance, and if we hover our mouse over the word Performance, we can click here where it says Empty All Caches. So if you ever make a change to your WordPress website and it doesn't show up right away, before you start to panic, just hover your mouse over where it says Performance and click Empty All Caches. Then check again, and 9 times out of 10 this will have fixed the problem. If not, you can always get in contact with me by sending me an email at marty@letsbuildwp.com. And now if I just open up this checklist and scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that the only thing you have left to do is congratulate yourself because you just finished building your very own website from scratch using WordPress. So we have our home page looking awesome with our text and our buttons and our different animated sections. We also have our Teams section, and underneath we've got some testimonials, and we have our blog posts, our contact form, and the footer's looking great with our clickable email address and clickable phone number. Then if we scroll up to the top, we can see we have our logo in place and our menu with our different pages. Our pages have images and text and headings. Then we also have our blog with our featured images, and when we click into our blog posts, we have our text and images. We have header text and a comments box underneath. We also have our sidebar looking great with different menus and text and images, and everything's looking and acting just the way it should. Once again, my name's Marty from letsbuildwp.com, and I really hope you enjoyed my video. If you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to give the video a like to show some support, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. And as always, you can head over to letsbuildwp.com to learn more.